Hi and welcome to On Acting. In this video I'm going to talk to you about how to join AABP. And AABP is the ACTRA Additional Background Union. It's basically a union for extras. And basically ACTRA put it together in order to help people who are working as extras get into the union more quickly than before. So in order to join, you basically have to work 15 days in 12 months as an extra, and you have to provide proof of these 15 days of engagement to ACTRA when you apply. And they measure the year starting from March 1st of every year, remember that? So once you do that, you then have to provide ACTRA with a headshot and a resume and register your name. It's got to be a unique name. And then you can fill in the application form and join as a member of AABP. So when you're in AABP, you're essentially an ACTRA member, and you can only work as an ACTRA member doing extra work, but also you can't work in non-union anymore, even as a principal, because you're now part of ACTRA. Of course, this means that if you are doing principal, you're not an apprentice yet, you're somewhere below that. So if you do book a gig as a principal performer, then you still have to pay permit fees. But there are some benefits to being in AABP if you're trying to make a living as an extra, or if you're trying to use this as a way to, as a bridge to get ACTRA membership. So you can graduate to be an ACTRA apprentice while you're in AABP, and you do that by working 200 days or 1,600 hours over a period of 4 years. Again, measured from March 1st. So I guess it could take a while, but then again, it could take a while to get into the union, just auditioning for non-union roles anyway. So I'm not sure whether you think this is a good idea or not. Depends on you. Or also, if you just want to work as an extra, this might be a good move. There are some benefits here that are different from being an apprentice, and that is you can only AABP members can work as extras in commercials in Toronto. So in Toronto, ACTRA basically has a monopoly on all of the commercials being shot, and all of the background performers have to be ACTRA. The principals and anyone who's talking in it, who gets hired as a normal role, can be non-union. They can be either a union, non-union, or mixed, but all the extras have to be AABP. Now, the AABP members can also work as ACTRA actors without having to pay the permit fees if they work for something called a TIP contract, which is a Toronto Indie Production contract. So ACTRA will have two different contracts here in Toronto for unions that are lower budget. They have one for unions that are under 500,000 and one for unions that are under 276,000. That's a Toronto Indie Production contract. And the contract basically stipulates if you want to, they give you a deal on making the production ACTRA, but you can only be ACTRA. So if you have like a higher budget production, you can do a mixed thing where you can have non-union actors and ACTRA actors working together, and they get different. The ACTRA actors still get all the ACTRA rules, but you can hire other people to work along with them. You can use non-union crews and stuff like that. But for these two contracts, the indie one and the low budget one, everyone must be ACTRA. And so non-unions can't apply. You can't even pay a permit fee in order to join. I'm not sure why they put this in place, but I have a theory, and don't quote me on this, but I have a theory that it's just to prevent actors who are non-union from making their own work and then paying permit fees to make themselves ACTRA, right, to pay for the contract. So they take that out. But if you're in AABP, you can audition for these roles and you can get them and be in them, and you won't even have to pay a permit fee because there are no permit fees allowed. You can also do that for what's called the co-op program, which is a special program they put together for ACTRA and AABP members where they can produce their own productions. But of course, everyone has to be ACTRA, and you still have to pay for all the fees and everything. So it'll be more expensive than putting together your own work as a non-union actor. But ACTRA will help you out. The rules are all the actors in it must be ACTRA, and the writers, directors, and producers must be ACTRA too, but one of them can be non-ACTRA, either the writer or the director or the producer, but no more than one of them. The other thing is that if you do digital self-promotion, you can register it with ACTRA, and ACTRA will help you copyright your own promotional materials. So like that, you can control the way they're used, and if someone decides to plagiarize your promo reels or your headshots or resumes or whatever, ACTRA will step in and help you protect your digital rights to them. And the other thing is, of course, you can work in student films. Student films like film schools and universities and stuff like that that have film programs can also have agreements with ACTRA where they can get ACTRA members to work on them. And non-union actors can't get in there and get a permit fee to work on theirs. Basically, the permit fees for the residual roles only apply to full-on ACTRA gigs. But all of these special agreements that ACTRA does with the students or with the low budgets or with the indie productions, you can get into as an AABP member. You can audition for them, you can get the roles, and you won't have to pay permit fees. And the last thing is that because they are technically considered ACTRA members, even though they haven't joined as even apprentices yet, they do get the benefits, except they can't vote on any measures. They have one elected representative, which they call the AABP executive, that's elected and that represents them at meetings. But that's about it. Also, the last thing is just remember you can't work as a non-union when you're in AABP. This applies to both principal and extra roles, because essentially once you join, you are part of the union and you have to respect the fact that you're now a professional actor and you need to abide by the rules of ACTRA. But there you go, that's the AABP. We're going to put links in the description again if you want to look up more information and if you want to see if this is something you're interested in or not. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you later with another video.